Here's an age-old question. When can I retire? Pun intended. And you might be in your 20s and wondering when you can retire early. You might be in your 30s and wondering if you can retire in your 40s. You might be in your 50s and wondering if you can leave the workforce before you turn 60 years old. The answer will come down to your current investments, your current age, your passive income streams like pensions, rental income, or dividend income, and the types of investment and retirement accounts you currently own, like a traditional or Roth IRA, 401k, 403b, or 457. If you're brand new to my channel, my name is Sai and welcome. Your financial independence number will depend on your current annual expenses, income, and how much you're looking to spend during your early retirement. I decided to retire by age 45 when I started my FIRE journey at 30 years old, almost 6 years ago. And my fat FIRE number is $3.7 million, and I'm currently managing over $1.1 million in total assets. Can I retire by 45? Absolutely. Can I retire earlier? It's entirely possible. I can't even choose to retire after 45 if I want to keep working. And I'm all about reaching my financial independence number because when that happens, I get to decide when I want to retire from the workforce. However, my financial situation is entirely different from yours. I was once in debt for $110,000 when I was 27 years old. You might be in that situation too. You might still be paying off your student loans, or you just bought a house recently. You might be debt-free and start investing half of your income, but you don't have much invested because you just got started on the financial independence journey. No matter where you are, I strongly encourage you to use my financial independence checklist and calculator, and you can download them for free by visiting firesuch.com/contact. You also get a weekly FIRE email from me about tips on personal finances. So the first thing you need to look at is what types of investment accounts you currently own. Most people on the FIRE journey, unless they're self-employed like me, have some type of employer-sponsored retirement account. And that's your 401k, 403b, 457 TSP, or something else that's tied to your employer. Why does this matter? Because of the rule of 55. The IRS allows you to avoid paying the 10% early withdrawal penalty on 401k and 403b retirement accounts if you leave your job during or after the calendar year you turn 55 years old. If you're a public servant like a police officer, firefighter, or EMT, you can withdraw as early as 50 years old. If you're looking to retire earlier than 50, then you need to make sure you have enough money invested to allow it to grow from your early retirement age until 59 and a half, when you can take distributions tax-free and penalty-free. You're not just making sure your money lasts throughout your early retirement, but you want to make sure your money lasts throughout your lifetime. You also need to find out if you're investing in Roth, traditional, or a combination of both. Your traditional investment account is being invested with your pre-tax money, so you haven't paid any taxes on it. You'll end up owing taxes on the distributions when you retire. For Roth investments, you don't owe any taxes or penalties on the Roth contributions because you already pay taxes on them. However, you would owe taxes on the earnings that accrued in your Roth investment before the age of 59 and a half. You need to figure out how much you'll have total in your Roth versus traditional to figure out how much you can actually withdraw during your early retirement. You should keep the required minimum distributions or RMD in the back of your mind if you decide to hold on to your employer-sponsored retirement account. The other account you want to have is your Roth IRA, and that is your core retirement account because you don't need an employer to own a Roth IRA. You need to consider whether you'll roll over your employer retirement accounts to your Roth IRA after you leave your job. You also have to keep the 5-year clock in mind. Even if you reach the normal retirement age at 59 and a half, you're still required to have your Roth IRA open for at least 5 years to make qualified distributions. The 5-year rule also applies when you make any Roth conversions from your traditional retirement accounts. So if you're looking to retire in your 40s, having your Roth IRA could be a good source of income because you can withdraw your contributions at any time and withdraw your conversions after 5 years have passed. If you're looking to retire early in your 40s, like many FIRE people do, using the 5-year conversion ladder could be extremely beneficial because you have early access to your employer-sponsored retirement accounts. I don't want to spend too much time explaining the Roth conversion process because I already have a video about it, and I'll put the link in the description below. Another investment account you want to look at is your taxable brokerage account, and this is your nest egg on top of your tax advantage retirement accounts. And I'm primarily using my dividend income to pay for my early retirement, and I have that video linked in the description below as well. When I'm retiring at 45, I want to use the 4% withdrawal rule to last from age 45 to 59.5. And again, 59.5 is the magic number when I can withdraw from my retirement investments without any penalties, right? So the question you should ask yourself is, do you have enough investments to keep you afloat until you reach 59.5? Are you looking to live frugally or lavishly? And one more thing you want to keep an eye on is your healthcare expenses. And they're very expensive if you're not employed. And this is why many FIRE people are using the barista FIRE strategy and work part-time to get healthcare benefits. And some FIRE people are investing their health savings accounts or HSAs as an extra cash flow during their early retirement. And the truth is that many people in their 50s retire early due to their declining health, which is very unfortunate. When you calculate your FIRE number, I strongly recommend doing some research on your future medical expenses as an unemployed individual. And when you retire early in the eyes of the government, you're not really considered retired until you start collecting your Social Security retirement benefits. You're considered unemployed and living on your savings and investments. If you don't think you're ready to pay for any major healthcare expenses, I would recommend looking into the barista FIRE strategy. And by the way, if you need help with your personal finances like budget, savings, and investments, you can schedule a free one-on-one 20-minute financial coaching session by visiting firesidechat.com/coaching. If you're brand new to the FIRE movement, I strongly encourage you to download my FIRE calculator, which is free, by visiting firesidechat.com/contact. I haven't yet met anyone who is looking to retire in their 30s, so let me know in the comment section down below if you're looking to achieve FIRE in your 30s. And when I started my FIRE journey at 30, I had $0 invested because I had just paid off my $110,000 in debt back in 2016. And with the income and my savings rate at the time, I decided to set my desired retirement age to 45 years old. I managed to live below my means and start saving and investing at least 50% of my income. And I want to retire with at least $100,000 a year with a 4% withdrawal rate at the bare minimum. And if I want to retire by 45, I need to invest aggressively at least $7,500 a month or $91,000 a year. If the market performs better than 8% return, the amount is reduced from $7,500 a month to $5,500. But I can't count on the stock market to give me that solid return, right? Some years they will do great and some years they will perform terribly. Deciding your retirement age is difficult, and it's okay if you can't decide on your retirement age right now. I would focus more on your current investment plan and increasing your savings rate, at least annually. And if you're investing for the first time this year, it's hard to see how the market will perform in the future. For a more of a veteran investor like me and some of you watching this has experienced the housing market crash and the global recession back in 2008, and I tend to focus more on long-term growth. And do you think companies like Apple, Google, or Microsoft in the S&P 500 that have a total of $6 trillion in market cap will go bankrupt? No, I don't think so. I know my investment portfolio will grow with these big companies that will eventually grow from $6 trillion to $10 trillion one day. It's only a matter of time, and I have 9 years until I reach my early retirement age. And I'm confident in my retirement age at 45 because I'll have multiple streams of income on top of the stock market investments. My budget is very consistent because I automated my contributions every month. If for some reason my FIRE number falls short when I reach 45, then I need to ask myself if I'm okay retiring with less than the original FIRE number. And could I delay my retirement for a year, 3 years, or 5 years? Or could I reduce my retirement expenses? The other big question you probably haven't asked yourself is if you have to retire in the US. And have you considered retiring abroad. And I have a video about retiring abroad and the process of getting the retirement visa, and you can check these videos out in the description below. And if you want to learn more about how to calculate your FIRE number, be sure to check out these 2 videos. So with that said, I appreciate you watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.